I'm here with Dan Richard, the chairman of the California Authority Board. We just finished testimony today. Dan, what is your feeling on the hearing and the progress of the project? Anything else you'd like to share with us?
First of all, I'm always happy that the Congress is taking an interest in these projects. I think it's very important. I always appreciate the chance to come and explain what we're doing. Sometimes it's required to correct the record on some myths that are out there. But I thought it was very good. I thought we had an opportunity to really get into a lot of details on it. I think one of the best things that came out of the hearing was understanding the importance of the Gateway project, which of course is a first step to really upgrading the technology on the Northeast Corridor. All of us know that that's important. For me, I was happy to be able to share with the committee that the high-speed rail program is accomplishing the purposes of the Stimulus Act, putting people to work. We talked about the tremendous number of people who are working now on the project and the number of businesses that are involved in the project. So that's something that I was happy to share with the committee. And just to let them know that we're under construction. I think one of the biggest challenges we have is people not really believing that high-speed rail is real, that it's some kind of ethereal thing over the horizon, and to be able to make the point that people are on the ground building structures right now that are going to accommodate America's first high-speed rail in California was a good thing to do today.
Jobs are being created, steel is being made in the state. I mean, it's stimulated a lot of things.
It has, direct and indirect. We've got 1,200 people working at 14 different sites. We've got hundreds of companies involved, and that's just the immediate direct effects throughout the Central Valley, which frankly is one of the poorest areas in the United States. And despite the wealth of California, that area has been left behind. Part of the goal of California's high-speed rail program is to connect that to the economic centers of the state. And we're already seeing employment benefits in Southern California. We're seeing this happen now.
Great. Well, thank you again for your leadership, and we'll be coming back again to California. We support the project through and through, and we feel it's very important for the nation and moving us into 21st century transportation.
Thanks for the work you do. We appreciate it. Good partnership.
Good
Thanks.
to see you again.
Take care. Good morning, Chairman Denham, Ranking Member DeFazio, Ranking Member Capuano. My name is Dan Richard. I am the chair of the governing board of the California High-Speed Rail Authority, and it's a privilege to appear before this committee today. My written testimony gives a comprehensive view of both the status and the future of the California High-Speed Rail program. In the few short minutes here, I'd like to emphasize 3 points. First, as we sit here today, construction of America's first true high-speed rail system is underway in California. The 119-mile spinal section of the project, with $3 billion of contracts already underway, has put 1,200 workers at 14 sites to work building this project. And this has all resulted from the American Reinvestment and Recovery Act, and I wanted to report to you that act is performing as it was designed, and we thank the Congress of the United States and the administration for this support. As a result of this, right now, 630 private sector firms are working on the project. Of that, 373 small businesses. And I know, Mr. Chairman, of special interest to you, 45 businesses that are owned and operated by disabled American veterans are working on the high-speed rail project in California today. And it's not just the businesses that are owned. Veterans like a 32-year-old former Marine, Fernando Madrigal, is now earning $22 an hour as a third-year apprentice electrician, having served our country in Iraq and Afghanistan. This is what the ARA Act was intended to do, and it is performing as you wanted it to. I also want this committee and the Congress to know that in this construction activity, every ounce of steel, every ounce of concrete that is being used right now is produced in America, domestically. And we will continue to respect the Buy America provisions that were installed by the Congress as we move forward. In addition to the direct work having dramatic direct effects on unemployment in one of the most challenging, economically challenging regions in California, we've seen, for example, that the unemployment rate in Fresno County, which ranks as, in fact, the poorest county in California with a 25.2% poverty rate. The unemployment rate in Fresno County has fallen below 10% for only the fourth time in the last 25 years, and that's attributable to the investments that are being made by high-speed rail. And there are indirect benefits as well. Part of this construction will remove 55 at-grade crossings, dangerous at-grade crossings up and down the Central Valley of California, and replace them with grade separations. And we are expanding freight capacity by moving to a new parallel passenger rail system, and this is very important. So the high-speed rail program is under construction. It's having dramatic effects immediately in California, in an area that has suffered historic underinvestment in our state. The second point that I want to make is that our next step is to connect the Central Valley of California with the Silicon Valley of California. And that will be a 250-mile stretch from north of Bakersfield up through Fresno and into San Jose and ultimately San Francisco. The import of this cannot be overstated. Right now in the Silicon Valley, which is the engine of California's economy and to a great extent the engine of America's economy, the housing crisis has reached epic proportions. The average cost of a home in the San Jose area, the average cost is more than $1 million. So the challenge for our high technology industry to attract and retain talent in this area with those housing costs is enormous. Today, instead of taking a Google bus from San Francisco, which takes an hour, we now see the prospect of high-speed rail service connecting San Jose to Merced and Fresno with 40 and 50-minute trips. And the technology leaders in Silicon Valley are extremely excited about this prospect of bringing a jobs housing balance to a region that has not had that. And just last week, Google announced the creation of a 20,000-person campus right at the Diridon station, which will be the densest transportation hub in the West, with high-speed rail, BART, Amtrak, Caltrain, and so forth, all serving that region. Finally, I want to make the point that at this point in our program, we are beginning the transition to commercialization. The California High-Speed Rail program will be a privately operated system. The government's role is to reduce risk at the outset and then provide the rights to the private sector to operate on that infrastructure. And last week, members, we issued an RFP for a private sector early operator to come in and infuse commercial thinking into the design and development of the system. 5 international bid teams have all qualified for that, and we expect to receive robust competition. So we are underway with construction of this system. We see the next step leading to either further connections between our economic regions, and we're moving towards the commercialization sector of commercialization phase of high-speed rail in California. I think these are exciting developments for our state and our nation. I thank you for the opportunity to appear here today and look forward to your questions.